Roll it.
5 freaking pre-rolls today, Anthony.
Where's the oh yeah?
Oh yeah! Roman swipes are convenient over-the-counter wipes that are clinically proven to help you last longer in bed.
You don't have to tell me, bro.
Try swipes today with a special offer just for our listeners. Get 20% off your first order to get Roman. Go to getroman.com/JRVP today. That's getroman.com/JRVP for 20% off. Policy Genius. You don't know what it is, Anthony? It's an insurance marketplace that makes it easy to compare quotes from top companies in one place to find your lowest price on life insurance. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. Options start at $17 per month for $500,000 worth of coverage. Head to policygenius.com to get your free life insurance quotes. See how much you could save. ZipRecruiter knows that hiring is challenging, but there's one place where finding great candidates is easy. It's ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter finds and matches the right candidates for you, and our listeners can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/JRVP. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Anthony just staring in my eyes the whole time, even if I'm looking down. Take advantage of Freshly's end of summer sale. Score a special deal. $125 off your first 5 orders at freshly.com/JRVP when you order today. We love Freshly. Go to freshly.com/JRVP. Freshly.com/JRVP for $25 off your first 5 orders. And we always wrap up these pre-rolls with little Athletic Greens. They're giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/JRVP. Again, you get that vitamin D, free 1-year supply, 5 free travel packs with your first purchase, and you get that sweet, sweet Athletic Greens making you feel better every morning. Anthony's now a new subscriber. That's athleticgreens.com/JRVP. So we had 5 freaking pre-rolls. We're going to have 5 headlines today, including a toddler waking up at her funeral, Martha Stewart, and a salsa that heals, all coming up on episode 174 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project.
JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
What are you? Some sort of barbarian?
I got too busy looking at those eyes. It's a mess.
It's not plugged in.
There's no plug today. They didn't leave the plug out.
How do you not?
It's been a long week. Let's play it again.
It's a banger.
If like everything's not just set up perfectly for me, I blow it. But I'm out of it. You're gonna have to carry the show this week, Anthony.
Okay. As per usual. I don't understand. Like, you'd say it wasn't set up. You're the one who sets it up.
No, but I know. But the like plugs usually out, and different plugs were into it, and I just yeah, it's a bad job. Bad job.
I'm shocked. You asked me what my quote's from.
What's your quotes from?
What's my quotes from? My quote this week is from the movie Barbarian. I went and saw it Sunday night, loved it, and there's a scene where the hero, sees the villain and says, "What are you? Some sort of barbarian?" And that's how they got the name. See Barbarian. Everyone's got to see Barbarian. My friend Zach Kreger wrote and directed it. Very Jordan Peele-esque, coming from sketch comedy to horror, and it's amazing. Go ahead and watch the trailer. The trailer doesn't give anything away, really. It kind of sets it up a little bit. Gives nothing away. Do not talk to anyone about the movie. Do not read anything about the movie. Just go in, sit down, watch it. It's the best horror movie of the year. Definitely, I think one of the best movies I've seen all year. And I watched, on Friday night I had off. Liz was working, so I just sat in and I watched Thor: Love and Thunder on Disney Plus. I watched it for free. Hated it so much. It was painful. It was like watching a kid's movie. And then I watched Barbarian and was like, oh, thank God. Thank God they make movies for adults. It's just a great movie. Everyone should go see it. I'm a Barbarian fan. And when they say,
I don't think I've even heard of it.
It just came out in theaters. It's been like, I saw a trailer a little while ago, and it's the #1 movie in the country this week. $10 million. It's a slow weekend, but great movie.
You don't
Everyone
have
in the theater
to,
loved it.
justify it with like the $10 million gross. Just give your friend some love. #1 movie.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It's people aren't going to the theater these days quite as much, and there wasn't a lot of competition.
It's historically one of the worst weekends of the year to put out a movie. So a horror movie is going to do gangbusters. But go see it.
Annie uses the title like in the movie well. Like Nope, I would say was used excellently. The title of the movie, like as that's a big moment. I think when you say the name of the movie in the movie, you got to handle that just right.
They actually say Nope in Barbarian too, but they actually say Barbarian a lot. They're like, "What are you, Barbarian?" And they're like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, oh, "Okay." And then when they finally ask someone if they're the Barbarian, what are you, some sort of barbarian? And they answer in the affirmative. I don't want to give too much away, but get ready to hear the word barbarian a lot during the movie. Great.
What else is going on?
Let's see. I want to get.
You feel feisty this week. You're giving me a lot of shit before the show.
You came in with an armful of problems that are not adult problems.
What are you talking about?
Well, next week my mom and dad are coming in. I don't know if I can do the show on
I didn't
time with
say
my
that.
mom and
I just
dad
said we might
flying
just
in.
like push it back. We do things like that, to bend the schedule around.
So you could
a
get them
little
from
bit.
the airport, get them a car. Get them a car where they got the sign waiting for them. Remember when I did that for you coming back from Japan? I got you and your family the car with the sign. How awesome was that?
It was great.
It's the best. The one time I tried to do it for my parents, I was using this car service, like the best car service. I forget the name of it. But my parents came in, and I had the same driver a bunch. I kept having the same driver, and he wouldn't have a sign. He would just be like waiting for me and be like, "Anthony, hey," and we'd go. And so I got it for my parents, and it happened to be this guy, and he just thought it was for me. And I was like, "Hold the sign that says Jeselnik," and my parents looked around for him for like 45 minutes, and couldn't find him. And I was like, "This is not what I paid for. I didn't pay for you to be friends with me and like notice me." Pick up my parents.
But didn't the sign say Jeselnik? He just thought he would recognize you?
He didn't have a sign. He was like, "I know him."
And I was thinking, like, why would you get us a car? But that was as thanks, because that was on your trip to Japan. And then we were coming home from Japan.
It wasn't a thanks. It was a sorry that I'm abandoning you and Coach. Remember how I upgraded to first class on the way back and didn't hang out with you guys at all and was like, "I'm getting you a car with the car seats. Because you have a special car seat." And you said it was a huge help. But I didn't even talk to you.
Walker was an infant at that moment. Yeah.
We got in the plane. I drank my way from Japan
That was
to
the last
LAX.
I saw you.
And then I got off immediately, didn't wait for you, went and got my bag, went through customs, and was gone. I had to get home.
I was just happy, they didn't take you off the plane. That happens sometimes too.
They could have. I remember there was a beer machine in the first class lounge that I abandoned you to go to. Maybe I think I got through security way before you guys and just waited in there. And it was a thing where you just put the glass in like a machine and it poured you a perfect pour of a beer and then gave it to you. And I was like, "This is the coolest. I'm going to sit here and drink all day."
I'm flying business class to London for work. That's the first time. As part of my new contract, we get to fly business class. So this is
awesome.
This is a step.
Does the NFL, since you're doing a show, you're doing 2 shows in London. How are ticket sales for that?
People, it's doing great. People should check it out. Ticketmaster. We're at the O2 Kentish Forum Arena or something like that. It's a theater. It's great. Tickets are going great. But yeah, check that out on Ticketmaster or my social media. We're doing one show there. We're doing obviously our podcasts as well and doing some fan events and whatnot. But yeah, that's in a couple weeks. I'm excited.
Cool. Tickets are going well for my tour this fall. I think a third of the shows are already sold out. If you live in Salt Lake City and you don't have tickets yet, you're fucked. But some shows in San Jose are sold out. I'm very excited. Phoenix sold out, but there's a lot of shows around LA that are getting up there. But I'm riding that Kanye wave. I'm still riding the Kanye wave that people are just, I got to go see this guy live.
Do you think that really helped sell some tickets?
Who knows? I truly have no idea. I assume maybe like on TikTok things will be like, oh, Kanye loves this guy or something. But I think it's my fans fucking with me.
I was curious if the Kanye pop had any impact on the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity project.
JRVP. Junior Vice President.
But no, we're pretty much the same. Last week was same as normal. We're a nice steady ship. Very steady. Every episode is just about the same. It's like creeping upwards. And last week was consistent with that. So the Kanye people didn't come out, especially to hear you talk about it last week.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. People are buying merch. That's good. I'm trying to get. I want to get a 20-year Jeselnik T-shirt up on the store for next month.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
But how do you sell it at the place? You can't.
No, I'm not going to sell it. I'm never going to be the guy who's like, "Thanks for coming to the show. Now buy more shit." Never. You can buy it. You can buy stuff online. I'll have vinyl coming out soon, and if I can get a T-shirt, it'd be like, hey, if you want to get a T-shirt to celebrate my 20th anniversary, then check it out. But we'll see if that even happens. Sad news this week. Lost a friend in comedy. I don't know if you heard about David A. Arnold. If you knew who that was, he had a Netflix special come out a couple months ago. Great guy, David A. Arnold. Well, not a good friend of mine, but I knew him for a long time in comedy. One of those guys that everyone absolutely loved. Great dad, great husband, and things with this career were like really starting to pop. Like he was a TV writer, a TV producer, and just been around forever and was starting to get his flowers, as Kanye says to me, and had a heart attack. And I'm not even sure I'm supposed to say that, but it was not an underhanded death, which happens often in the comedy community, which I think is even sadder when someone's like on the up and up. Their life's like, not that his life was ever bad, but it was like he was about to do great things, and everyone was just devastated. So check out David A. Arnold's comedy specials on Netflix. He's got 2, I believe, and the new one just came out a few months ago. But very funny guy and a fucking total sweetheart. So I wanted to give him a shout out. This is happening too.
I feel like this is like just part of the week. It's like, who died in comedy this week?
I love that you say that. You diminish the flowers I'm trying to give by saying that comedians die, because people in the sports world, they live forever. They live
I'm just saying
forever.
I'm saying it, I guess, with a little twinkle in my eye here, but it just seems crazy. It truly seems, and maybe it's because we've been doing this show for 4 years, that it's almost every other week. It's like, it's tragic. It's too much.
Do you think it's appropriate to have a twinkle in your eye when you say things to me when I'm talking about my friend who died?
No, that probably wasn't.
Lose the
totally
twinkle. Lose that twinkle. Save it for when comedians are born. That's what the twinkle's for.
People can see that twinkle though if they want to check us out on YouTube. You know, on your page.
Yeah, definitely use my friend's death to plug things. That's great too. Very expected, Greg. Other deaths this week. The Queen. Was that tough on you?
I was not expecting that transition. Was it tough on me? We had to be careful on this new show that I'm working on. I'm helping to host Monday Night Football in the UK on Channel 5 there, which is like one of their, major broadcast channels. Now it's like the middle of the night, but like we're doing the pregame, and then they don't have commercials there in general. So you're filling the commercial breaks with analysis. And so I'm working on the Monday Night Football coverage. First game was Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson. It was fantastic. But our tone for the show, it's usually a very kind of like wacky, irreverent show. You have to rein it back a little bit, not seem like insensitive Americans that are just like doing a lot of overly goofy stuff. We had fun analyzing the show and everything, but we paid our respects to the Queen.
I'm laughing at your arm swing as the goofy stuff. Like, I don't know what. If you're watching YouTube, you don't know what he does.
I don't know. They do. I'll find out. This is my first time doing the show, but they do some little games or stuff with uniforms, and it just felt like this week it wasn't time for it. We also put those tickets that I mentioned that are for sale in the UK for the live show we're doing. This is our first theater show. We've done these like little small clubs with my other podcast, the Around the NFL podcast, and this is like a big jump for us. And we put those tickets on sale like the night the Queen died, and we weren't thinking about the connection between 1 versus 2, but I did get a decent amount of like read the rooms in response. People like almost annoyed that we decided like, hey, we're coming to London, like we can't wait to get there, and it was just hours after the body went cold.
That's great. You really saved it with that sensitive portrayal. I would think, how are you going to make it up to the people of England? If I could make a suggestion, I would open up the show by singing "Candle in the Wind" in its entirety. I would go front to back, "Candle in the Wind," karaoke style.
See, now I'm getting myself into trouble in a way I wouldn't at the NFL show, because that will genuinely offend some UK listeners and everything. I guess it's and that makes sense. It totally makes sense. It's an important part of your life for a long time, and like, but putting tickets for sale on the same day, it just didn't occur to us like Americans that okay, let's wait 3 or 4 days or something like that.
People, please, it's like you can get tickets whenever they went on sale that day. It's not like you got to buy them now. It's not like, hey, put down your morning gear and buy these tickets. I would think that people who are going to pay money to see a fucking football podcast in a theater are not the kind of people who are like so upset about the Queen's death that they can't.
That's what I thought, but they came at me a little bit on they were following me on Twitter or on Instagram a little bit, so I don't know, maybe there is more of a carryover, because it is confusing from an outsider. There is absolutely a large segment, not that I'm breaking any news here, but there's a large segment of British, UK citizens that are pretty anti-royalty, and will tell you about it, and like don't like being known for it, don't like giving up their money for it, and are not like relishing the Queen's passing or anything, but also don't feel like the need to treat it with the solemnity of I don't know, like a family member dying or something like that. But there's different types.
I mean, I'll say this as sensitively as sensitive as I can, not just before Greg, who's got to now do a show there and sell tickets, but for our listeners in the UK who are very upset about this. I'm glad she's dead. I'm glad. I'm Team Irish. I'm Team Black on this one. I'm glad she's dead. I think it's fun.
You think it's fun? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's gonna happen. She was 96. She had a great run. Yeah. She lived, a great life. So, while that's sad, you can't look back with too many regrets. But Team Irish, yeah. I mean, that was. Yeah, I can't even say what I was going to say. But yeah, there are different segments, let's say, of the American population, too, that's like maybe aren't like huge fans. Like,
we don't give a fuck. We had to fight a war. We had to fight two wars to get away from those assholes. And she was responsible, personally. Let's say your show wasn't in London. Let's say your theater show was in Dublin. How would you handle the Queen's death? Would you do it differently? Would you have been a little less sensitive? Would you dress up like the Queen to make a video to like dress up like the Queen with like little X's over your eyes? And I'd be like, hello, hello, like Mrs. Doubtfire style. I'd be like, buy tickets for biscuits, or whatever the fuck. I'm glad she's dead.
It's like ding dong, the Queen is dead, like as part of the social, media rollout of the tickets with like flaming heads and stuff like that. Many of my jokes, most of my humor is very dark humor. I like making fun of death, talking about death. That I love it when someone dies where people are happy about it. Okay, like I think about Osama bin Laden dying. Twitter was just like, you could not go too far. You know what I mean? People were just like, it was the best. Everyone's making jokes about how happy this guy's dead, and for good reason. The Queen was, I loved seeing. And listen, I feel bad for people who are upset over this. Again, she was 90-something. It wasn't like she was assassinated. She took her own life. I think that reading about like the Irish soccer game, where the entire stadium is chanting "Lizzie's in a box," I think is hilarious. Wait, really?
Yes.
I did not know about that.
Yeah, "Lizzie's in a box" is a funny way to talk about it. The African American professor who said, "I hope she died an excruciating death." That like Jeff Bezos came out, people were coming after her, and she's like, "No, I stand by it. I love it."
That's what I was talking about. You have friends that are black that are definitely not, as big fans of the Queen as some others. But it's also because I think it's obviously just a cultural barrier that it's hard for us to wrap our minds around that connection, whatever the connection is, like it mattering. It's similar to me. It's hard for me to wrap my mind totally around people's connection to God. Even not in a judgmental way. Just as someone who was like raised with no religion and anti-religion somewhat from my dad, it's like I can't even understand it. So I can't totally like understand what the Queen thing is.
No,
but
I mean,
I should.
I get that, but like,
empathy is important.
Imagine if like Kris Jenner died. That's what it would be like for us. It would be tough.
Your Queen material has gotten more belly laughs from Aaron over there than I think anything.
Oh, Aaron fucking hates the Queen.
Yeah, not a fan.
Hates the Queen.
If a member of Queen died, I would be more sad.
Oh, you don't want to know about Freddie Mercury, bro.
Oh,
He's fucking.
What are you saying?
He could not be more dead.
Oh God.
He could not be more dead. Let's lighten it up a little bit. How was your 9/11? Did you have a good one this year?
It was at work. It was football Sunday. So it was tough, actually, because I was going through some stuff physically. It was the last thing you would want. heading into my first football Sunday of the year. This first week of the season always kills me. I'm doing more shows than I've ever done, and I was struggling. Had a bit of a stomach virus thing going on that maybe I should have just stayed home from work versus risk getting other people sick.
Was it a virus or was it the Queen's dead, all you can eat tacos?
I think it was a virus. I don't know. I'm usually a pretty healthy person, but I was hurting for about 48 hours and just trying to get through it, enjoy the games. They did make us wear a 9/11 pin if we were on any programming. And there was talk of is the 9/11 pin somehow disrespectful to the Queen? But I was like, that doesn't make sense.
She had a lot to do with it.
I think she was supportive of the states in that time, so I think she would support wearing the pin.
I support the states. I'm sorry you lost your towers. Oh, the Pentagon. Oh.
I like that you don't even try a British accent, but I do like the tone.
I try to Mrs. Doubtfire it up.
Well, how was your 9/11?
It was fun. I saw an article. It's not in headlines, but I saw an article that was Rudy Giuliani saying that in some ways 9/11 was the best day of his life.
Shut up.
Swear to God, you can Google it right now. In some ways, 9/11 was the best day of my life. And I think he meant he felt like a call to serve and ruin his reputation by making it all about himself. I remember him being on Letterman afterwards talking about all the things he did that day, and it was oh, you're running for office right now. In a way that I thought
but everyone was into it. Everyone loved. I mean, it really.
America's
I can see
mayor.
why he says that, especially now knowing him more as a public figure and how craven and kind of pathetic he is. That looking back, that is the best day of his life because he was peaking for the next month after that. He was the fucking man.
No, for years after that,
right,
and still riding that wave. It would be ask me how my 9/11 was, the original 9/11.
How was your 9/11 2001?
In some ways, it was a great day for me sexually. A tough day, but I got through it sexually.
I'm trying to go through your Rolodex of ex-girlfriends and timing out when that would be. So okay.
It was Catherine. It was
okay.
I was with Catherine.
Okay.
Catherine's the one who told me.
Yeah.
Catherine woke me up and told me about 9/11, and then I had to go and She was working at Razoo's, I think, on Bourbon Street as a bartender, and they stayed open on 9/11 because all the people who were there for conferences and shit couldn't get out, so they Bourbon Street stayed open. I went there and sat at the bar with her because she didn't want to be there by herself, and drank Red Bull vodkas until I was about to fall off the bar stool until 4 a.m. as the DJ tried to be don't let the terrorists win, let's have fun, and it was really fucking surreal. That
is a real quote. I don't think anyone told me, by the way. My mom left a voicemail that I didn't listen on my drive into Hallway Pictures, our old work. And I walked in, and at that point we were sharing an office with some other people that I didn't know. And they were just mumbling and acting weird. And they were just, I think one person that I didn't know was check your computer. And that was it for me.
That's funny. They would want you to find out on your own. It wouldn't spoil it for you. It's like Barbarian. Going to 9/11 knowing as little as possible. My social media team, they send me things a week in advance. Here's what we're going to be putting out. And there's a clip that I had. This is what we're going to post on 9/11 for you. And it was a clip from the Jeselnik offensive where we got this actor who played Osama bin Laden. I think he's passed away.
I watched this, yeah.
But he played Osama bin Laden in a bunch of movies. He looked a lot like Osama bin Laden and was happy to play the role. Oh, you're paying me? I'll do whatever. And we had him dressed up totally like Osama bin Laden and with the clothes and everything. And he's on a balance beam, trying to balance while I'm his coach, trying to cheer him on. And when he does it, when he gets across the balance beam, I give him a big hug and we celebrate. And I say, I'm so proud of everything. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of everything you've done, everything. And I'll admit, I don't know what that is about. I kind of remember doing it. I kind of remember filming it. I kind of remember sort of writing it with my writers. I don't know what the joke is supposed to be other than I'm excited about Osama bin Laden. It's a silly thing to do. It doesn't make any sense.
The fact that he's on the balance beam, is just inherently hilarious.
Yeah,
You don't need a reason.
I don't know what our theory was.
It made me laugh. I saw it this week. I didn't have to think about what
I was
it meant.
like, when they showed it to me, I was like, okay, like this is funny to see again. I remember this. Like, you want to post that? Sure. And I've got a bunch of 9/11 jokes in my stand-up that could have been used. But I'm like, we're playing the long game. Let's do something from Jeselnik Offensive. And it got taken down within like minutes.
Really?
TikTok took it down almost immediately, saying that it was about like violence and terrorism or something. And I kind of see their point. And I just laughed at it. My social media team gets in touch with TikTok, explains like this is a silly thing. They put it back up for like 30 seconds and gone again. And then Instagram was up for most of the day and then taken down. And they're like, oh, what do you want us to do? I'm like, nothing. I'm fine with them taking this down. It's funny that you guys even tried that. They're like, we can't believe they did it. I'm like, oh, I totally can. You put up a goofy bit about me hugging Osama bin Laden, telling him how proud I am of everything he's ever done on 9/11. Like, let him take it down. It's fine. But that was my 9/11, and then I watched something even worse than 9/11.
What do you think of like the Jeselnik look from back then? Because you do notice you look like a younger man.
I was a younger man.
Much younger man.
Mm-hmm. That was 10 years ago. So
are you happy with that version? You know, do you like this version better?
I like this version better. I've always, I mean, we've talked about this. I've enjoyed getting older. I like a bearded Anthony more than clean cut Anthony. But at the time, that was looking good. Like I look back and I'm like, I don't cringe. I'm like, yeah, I looked good. I look good now.
Maybe it had something to do with the guy who walked between the two Twin Towers. Something to do with that. I don't know.
That French guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Why was Osama bin Laden on the balance beam?
Gymnastics. I don't know.
I
could not tell you what we were thinking.
I think it stayed on your YouTube page. Maybe that's where I saw it, because I did watch it, and I don't even have TikTok this week. And,
it was on Instagram for like most of the day.
Okay, and immediate laughter. Immediate laughter seeing Osama bin Laden on the balance beam. It's funny.
Gold. It's funny. It's funny just to get a notice being, we took this down because of violence and terrorism. I just think that's great. They were like, we've never had this before. I'm like, well, now that I'm a client, you're going to have it a lot. I mean, even the 9/11 for me was watching TJ Watt go down.
Oh.
That was tough. And I hear now, maybe he's out 4 weeks. It seems crazy. I thought done for the year for sure.
4 to 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Torn pectoral, but it's not all the way torn. But sometimes when they come back from that, then they fully tear it.
Totally agree.
It's a bummer. The Steelers coming off a gutsy win. Rivalry game this week for the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
You know, we got Steelers Patriots coming up. Your boy Mitchell Trubisky getting it done. But yeah, you just hope TJ Watt doesn't have the career that JJ Watt had, which is like Hall of Famer, best player ever, and then just suddenly just gets bad luck.
He's still great. I would take a JJ Watt career. What do you think about JJ Watt's clothing line?
I mean, I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Really?
He used to have one.
He sold out.
He used to.
You got any opinions on it?
None.
I'm going away this week. I'll be watching the Steelers Patriots game with my sister, my family in Indiana. My sister and her husband and their kids moved to Indiana. I'm going to go visit my brother in Chicago, go to Indiana, and then drive with my dad and some people to go see the Notre Dame game this week. Notre Dame coming out of the gate with a scorching 0-2 record. I get to go and watch them play Cal. I've been to a Notre Dame game since I was like maybe a freshman in high school. My dad used to go all the time, but it's like a father-son event. He wants us to go, so I'm going.
It's nice. I didn't know any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still watch Notre Dame football?
Don't give a fuck.
When you were in college, you did. You still sort of had.
If they're on, I'm cheering for them. But like we were so hardcore Notre Dame fans because my dad was still obsessed, and my dad had gone there. And then once I realized I didn't want to go to that school, then I stopped caring. I didn't even care about Tulane college football, maybe a little more, but no, I couldn't name a single player. But I like them to win because it makes my dad happy. I like Notre Dame to go undefeated and then get their ass handed to them in the college football.
Well, that's
playoffs.
not happening this season.
Nope, no, it is not. Other than that, my week, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go on this tour. I'm excited, and I've got these 7 weeks of tour dates I've got covered. I've got someone taking Rummy on one of his little vacations whenever I'm out of town. There's one weekend Liz will watch him when Liz won't be coming with me, and a lot of dates where I'm staying, local. But then I'm thinking about next year. What am I going to do? That I'm like, do I try to find a kennel I can leave him for a few days? How is he going to do with that? I might try to drop him off at one in a couple of weeks and just like see how he does for 4 days. I don't know what's going to happen. And I wish I had could hire an assistant who I would trust to stay in my condo and take care of him. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So I've got to figure out something that will make this easy on me.
I was going to suggest Aaron over there, but he does have.
Aaron, would you watch my dog?
As a family, I don't think that's going to work.
I do have a dog of my own. They'll get along, I'm sure.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
I'm trying to.
That's a big ask. I don't know. Are we friends enough?
Yes, Aaron. We're friends enough for you to watch my dog.
I bet you I could come up with someone for you if you really wanted. Someone good.
We'll see.
I already thought of someone.
I'm going through the motion. I gotta figure something out by next year that I can use going forward. But I'm a concerned parent. Anything else happened this week besides the back-to-back 9/11 Queen's death?
Beside my body completely falling apart. I'm still recovering from it. I went to a Pavement show.
I saw that.
I did not drag you to it.
You didn't even ask me. I would have gone with you.
Really? No, that's the whole thing. I like dragging you to Pavement and Steve Malkmus shows are partly why I realized as I've gotten older, like, just go to concerts by yourself. Because you just are thinking like, are they really having a good time here? But in this case, I had a friend to go with that actually brought me, so it was perfect.
You see, no one drags me to anything. Like, I'll go. It's like concerts are fun, and Pavement is like a legendary band who hasn't hit their prime yet.
It was awesome, and they were amazing, and the crowd was like just going nuts. They do the reunion tour selectively. They've only done it every 10 years. They left. They did one reunion tour 10 years later. Now they're doing it again on the 20-year reunion. And so that they don't play new music or anything like that, and everyone's going crazy. But I've literally never felt older, not because the crowd was old, and it was, although there was a heartening amount of young people there kind of rocking out.
A heartening amount? Was that like 100?
Maybe that was it, but they were like the most active 100. Like
100's enough to hearten you.
Like they were jumping up and down in the front, and they screamed. Like they were the most energetic because they were the youngest, rocking out the most, and clearly had found that there had to have been some teenagers. It was a decent amount of high school kids that must have gotten into Pavement. Now, my point is, you're sitting there watching it, and there's no way you can think about any that. Oh wow, I love this song 28 years ago. When this Crooked Rain, which is their most famous album, hit me in the chest when I was 15, which is 27 years ago. And then you think back to all the different shows that you've seen over time, and there's no way around that. The passage of time is just is slamming on you, because you're could they do a 30th reunion by then? It's I hope so. I think they could, but then I'll even feel older. It's just as great as it was, it just can, almost anything these days for me, can't help but make you think of your mortality. At least that's me.
You heard it here first, everybody. In 10 years, Greg will feel older than he does now.
It's a lot. Don't you think that's a lot? Have you seen bands like that? I have a few other bands like that, but none are as dramatic as Pavement, where it's I can go through my mind and think of the different moments in my life when I was listening to them and stuff. You came with me to a New Orleans show of them, which I don't know if you remember, but it ended up being on an infamous tour of theirs. It was their last tour where they famously were not getting along whatsoever and giving not the greatest effort in the world, which was part of the charm.
I remember about that show because you made me listen to Pavement all the time. I was going to ask you, do you think I've heard every Pavement song?
No, there's so many. No.
You drove everywhere in New Orleans and always listened to Pavement and made me listen to things that I can still, when talking about this, I can smell that book of CDs in your car. I remember that Pavement concert in New Orleans. There was an opening band where the lead singer was off his ass wasted. Could barely open his eyes. It was so terrible. And someone right in front of him kept holding up a lighter. Clearly making fun of him, and the guy just looked mad, but he was too fucked up to do anything about it.
I doubt that was Malkmus, actually.
It wasn't Malkmus. No, it was the opening band for Pavement.
Okay.
It was one of the worst bands I've ever seen. That's all I can remember of that concert, was how that look on that guy's face.
I remember that too now.
Yeah.
I forget who that band was, but now, life is different now. The friend I went with was actually kind of knows a member of the band, so we were guests of the band. We were on the list, and pretty soon after the show, actually, Malkmus DM'd me, not about the show at all, just about women's tennis. That's what we DM about. But I was just this is how far I've come.
Did you tell him I was just at the show?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
I did.
Cool.
It would have been weird not to at that point. But
yeah.
He knows what is a great thing to recommend. Women's tennis. What a U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Little callback there.
Did you love the whole U.S. Open, or once Serena got bounced and Coco got bounced, you were like, I don't give a fuck?
It was awesome.
Great.
I mean, Francis Tiafoe was a great story. I love Alcaraz, the guy who won the tournament, is like the most exciting men's player I think to come around in like 20 years. I love Ons Jabeur, who made the finals. That's kind of my favorite woman, along with Osaka, and she made the final, so it was a nice run for Ons. Okay, I'm losing ya.
And now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes?
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
Fuck knows. I don't even pay attention anymore. I had seen a couple things where people were excited about Aaron. Aaron, whatever you did to your chair fixed the problem. People are excited about that. Have other podcasts commented on your chair being quiet now?
No.
Do you think that we're just more professional? You also told us no one's ever asked for a split screen on YouTube, or like makes as many comments. So maybe Anthony's just like more of a professional.
That's the other thing, is I had them expand the YouTube screen, so we're still split screen, but it's like more pushed in. We don't have the black bars, and people love that. That was a Jeselnik move.
Right. I know most people are still listening to it on audio, and we love all of you. But if you do check it out on YouTube as well, you do get to see my lovely friend Seaweed, and how paintyourlife.com beautifully represented her
Seaweed
for all time.
The Queen of England of turtles.
Wait, Aaron,
Yes,
we need more of your help, because you may not have any notes, but I got some notes. I got some entries.
And what?
Into the Butthole Challenge Tournament of Champions.
Ooh, how many did we get?
We got a handful, but we're going to play the two best ones. I would say Brian. Let's play that one first, Aaron. Those were the two I like best. Let's play Brian first.
Are they on the screen?
Yeah, we're gonna watch them on YouTube, and you guys, of course, can listen in.
Here we go.
Just like,
Shay,
we were gonna take it down and kill him.
what's the dirtiest part
Why
of
are
the
you
human
filming
body?
me right now?
What's the dirtiest part of the human body?
Why are you rubbing your fingers? Probably the mouth.
Nope. The butthole.
And then you're inside.
Okay. Why are you filming me?
Okay, that's a good one. He did it. He understood the assignment. He's got, if you can't watch this right now, he's got his fingers right in front of the phone, so you can just see him moving the fingers. The girl's a little skeptical. He's asking a friend, a female friend. I don't know their relationship, but she's enjoying it.
I feel like it has to be a girlfriend or a wife to try it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, maybe it seems like a bunch of people are out there. It looks like a picnic, and she's enjoying herself, but is a little skeptical of why she's being filmed. Ignores the fingers completely, and guesses the mouth, which is not the worst guess, but the opposite of what the right answer is, and then seems to enjoy.
She laughs. You can't quite hear it in the audio, but she laughs. It's a quiet laugh, but she has an involuntary laugh. So to me, that's a success.
It's a solid entry. It's a success. I would say if I was courtside at the slam dunk contest at the All-Star game, what are you holding up on your Gatorade sign? I'm holding up 6.5, 7.
I mean, do they even have 6.5s on those things?
I don't know.
I don't think they've ever held up anything lower than an 8. So I'm gonna go 8 or 9.
Okay,
I just
go 8.
feel like any below, like they might have a couple real low ones if you suck, but other than that, I feel like everything's an 8.
It's an 8.
It's an 8.
What's our other entry?
All right, this is Anthony Carrillo.
I like a style.
Hey, I was listening to a podcast. Do you know what the dirtiest part of the human body is?
Hands?
The butthole. The butthole.
Okay. And?
Hey, I was listening to a podcast.
Oh man, you really need to see that video to fully appreciate it, because she is just staring him down the whole time and does not seem remotely amused. Her look really makes it.
I think she's might be the MVP of the video. Anthony here doesn't do the fingers in front of the camera, which is fine, but he delivers it perfectly. but his girlfriend, I gotta assume that's a girlfriend or maybe wife.
That's wife. Yeah.
Nails it, knocks it to the fucking moon. She's just staring at him dead faced, like not amused at all. Doesn't understand why this is happening. Maybe she's like, why is he filming me? Something's weird. I don't want to get made fun of. But she nails it. Anthony, I'm going to say Anthony's the winner in this Tournament of Champions for this round.
Okay.
But they're both, I mean, it's a buzzer beater. But Anthony, it's magic.
Okay.
And the sound quality's better.
So please keep sending in your butthole challenge Tournament of Champions entry into JRVP Junior Vice President at gmail.com.
Any other announcements about JRVP Junior Vice President at gmail.com?
We should send in some more emails. I was going to maybe mention that in email corner. It's a little early, but I think we should just get all the emails we can possibly get, even though we have a lot of great ones right now. Let's get even more current questions because we're doing an email episode in a couple weeks. That's what we are going to air when I'm gone in London. So get your emails in this week so we can answer them.
And that was, did we get any notes?
Email corner. Emails are a thing. Email corner. It's email corner.
Email has been around for as long as the Queen has been around. And we like to do a tribute to the Queen, who is 100% dead. Lizzie's in a box. And we're going to honor her by reading 4 or 5 emails right now and answering some questions. Greg, you curated this week, as you do every week. What do you got?
Yeah, well, you ultimately make the final choice. It breaks my heart a little with the questions you don't pick sometimes because I'm like, these people, they wrote in. These were quality questions that I chose, and then once they don't make your list, they're gone forever.
You give me double the amount, and I got to make some cuts.
I know, but
if you
I
were like,
figure...
if you said I really want to do this one, I would be happy to do that.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just send you 5 for 5. Who knows?
No, I want options.
I'm watching 5 Days at Memorial. This is from Zach, by the way. 5 Days at Memorial, by the way, is a recent documentary. And couldn't help but think about the two of you in New Orleans during a hurricane. Were there any major storms when you were at Tulane? As we approach the active portion of hurricane season, do you have any advice for listeners that may be impacted by a storm? I'm curious if you have any, quote, life-saving advice and any advice that is less serious, best ways to ride out a storm, etc.
I mean, when we were there pre-Katrina, and they would think it was going to be really bad. The only time we ever evacuated was sophomore year. And we've talked about this story before of like how we became best friends, but being stuck in a car with each other and the heat blasting in like a September, Louisiana weather, trying to drive to Houston, just the two of us. Behind
what was
our
that,
fence.
Hurricane Ivan? I don't know. I'm just making shit up at this point. That was a hurricane. But we left. They thought it was going to destroy New Orleans. It was supposed to be a 4 or 5, and it ended up not
they were like, you got to go. And we went, and we had a great time in Houston. But like the drive sucked, but it was like fun. It was fun while we were there. We kind of embraced like, this is going to be shitty. Let's just have fun. And we were the right age to do that. But our friends who stayed behind sounded like they had the time of their lives. Like they were like, we're not going anywhere. The storm wasn't that bad. I think they lost power and then had to eat everything in the fridge and the freezer because of the power outage. That sounded fun. They just had like a party. And I was like, oh, we shouldn't have left. And then I think junior and senior year, we didn't have to do anything.
Well, our sophomore year, there was a crazy tropical storm, which was worse ultimately than that hurricane that was supposed to come. I mean, you remember that, right? Where the flooding was, the water was 2-3 feet up.
Oh, we had to wade through it. I remember we were like, we have no food, we have nothing in the house. I was like, I'm gonna let's collect some money. I will go to
power was out, I believe.
I will go to this like deli, like a grocery store down the street. I'll wade through the water and get there and get us stuff. And everyone's like, okay, and we all chip in money. I think I came back with like 5 sandwiches, a couple packs of cigarettes, a case of beer, and I was like, I couldn't think of anything else, and we were fine.
And it was the most disgusting water. It
was flat out sewage.
Right. And yet I was like, I remember not being sober and like going out there and like, oh, let's go see how high it goes up on the short guy, and like, doing little jokes, like jumping around in the water.
Funny jokes.
It's the only jokes I do. I don't have much advice. What do we know? We were just dumb kids.
Here's the advice. If power goes, let's say you stay. If you stay, then
don't stay. That's my advice.
A lot of time, people stayed during Katrina. It depended on where you were, how bad it would get.
Yeah, how did that go? How
Remember
did that
people
go?
in Miss Mays who people refused to leave, and then Miss Mays wasn't going to close, and the power went out, and they just still stayed open getting drinks.
I'm not judging anyone that does it, but it just seems like the downside there seems significant.
Get out if you can, and just embrace how miserable it's going to be having to leave, being stuck in traffic. Just like it's an adventure for you, make it an adventure. And if you do stay and the power goes out, you got to eat everything. You got to eat everything and drink everything and make a game out of that. That could be fun.
What do you do with like frozen food? Well, I guess that's...
Defrost it. You cook it.
What about frozen pizza?
Defrost it and cook it. And throw me whatever fucking curveball you want. Defrost it and cook it.
All right, let's go on to Joe's question. Greg, we all know you consider yourself to be the more athletic one between you and Anthony. I mean, it's just a fact. What sports games do you think you would have the widest margin of victory? Good question. And which do you think Anthony would come closest to you, perhaps even surpass? I love the way you framed this, Joe, because like you were willing to live in a world where it's like maybe there's even like one sport where he could possibly be better than you. Like you were giving me that much credit. There clearly are some sports where Anthony would beat me. Swimming, I would just assume you're better because I suck at swimming. And
I was in the swim team in the 8th grade.
Yeah. Lacrosse, obviously. I've never played lacrosse in my life. You can probably skate well, I'm guessing. Can you skate? So hockey, any skating sport. That's about as far as I'm willing to go.
I got to think baseball. I take you out.
No, I was pretty good at baseball. I was just coaching Walker's baseball team, so.
You think that gives you an advantage?
I mean, I had a glove on, so I'm a little more used to. I played softball, the co-ed softball team recently, and I still had it. I was like on a traveling team for baseball, definitely.
If there was like a fan league or something, and they were picking players, do you think you would get picked before me? For baseball.
That doesn't. What does that have to? No, but
I'm not even a good baseball player.
For
I'm
any
just saying
sport,
that I would
no,
be...
because you're taller and you look like you're a better athlete. But this is fucking Moneyball. You're drafting me. I'm
okay.
The Billy Beans of the world are seeing me, and I'm Scott Hatterberg.
I'll say
Kevin Euclid.
I'll say it's a wash on baseball.
Football. No, it wouldn't be a wash. Hand-eye coordination. I'm going to beat you, and athleticism. So I'm not giving you that at all.
But I've got the hand-eye coordination to best do at lacrosse, but not baseball.
Well, I've just never played it, so I don't think I would be good. Plus, it's a little physical. Now, the physical sports are the ones which I think would be the most interesting. Boxing, I think, would be interesting. Now, initially when I thought about it, I was like, okay, Anthony would, have an advantage. He's clearly stronger than me, and he's got a bigger reach. But couldn't I just like Floyd Mayweather your ass for like 12 rounds? You think you have the ability to Floyd Mayweather my ass? Yeah, just like pop around. Like basically, if you put a sport where being able to outlast the other is a factor, I'm gonna take my chances. And boxing is like the ultimate, like just outlast the other guy. So as long as you can't get a good shot on me that just like knocks me out early, you're gonna get too fucking tired, and I'm just gonna hit you with those little rib shots, I tell you this all the time. Having like 6 domestic violence charges against you does not make you Floyd Mayweather. I think I've trained with a boxing instructor. That's a problem for me. I have a punching bag in my house. I'll give you that. I think I would win in boxing. Yeah, I think any kind of running's a big thing. I think you would beat me. Football, I think you got to pick me over you. No. Yeah. I could play many different positions. Anything where like athleticism comes into play, I'm taking me. And I love it because Anthony can't respond. He knows I'm like... Why would I want to respond? Why do I care? I'm like a 7 in athleticism, and he's like a 4.5. I'm like a 7.5. You're a 5. You jog and do push-ups. Right, but the actual sports where you need coordination and stuff, I'm not saying like I'm some great athlete, but you see it with these kids when I coach kids and stuff. It's like everyone has a sort of baseline. And my baseline was like, you could put me into any sport and I'd be like slightly above average. Like I wouldn't fuck it up. Tennis, which I worked really hard on, I became very good at and everything. But I won't fuck it up. Like, you just throw me into any sport, I'm gonna be like good enough to start, but not be a star. And I don't see that with you. I do Pilates twice a week. I'm a man. Tennis. Well, yeah, tennis, running. Tennis is a wash. No. So yeah, tennis, anything with running, Yeah, I'm taking you on
Volleyball.
Basketball.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Yeah, that one's kind of tough. 'cause
I'm a
you're
good
so
volleyball
tall.
player.
I was trying to think, what sports does it really hurt to be short at? What sports should I not have my kids play? You know, volleyball might be one of them.
They're short volleyball players. You don't have to be able to spike it.
Really?
You can be good. Yeah, you can be good at other things. I mean, it's not great, but it'll be fine. I'd beat all your kids at any sport.
Like hammer throw, you would beat me. What's that thing with the ball that you throw?
Shot put?
Shot put. Any pure strength thing, I'm willing to obviously.
I like how
give
they
that
talk
up
about
to
what
you.
sports and you're like shot put. That's not. No one thinks that's a sport. Yeah. I think we're evenly matched in that I think I'm stronger, but you have more endurance for sure. But if there was a
And
Pilates
athleticism.
competition,
My point is like the coordination.
What do you
to
think
make
athleticism
moves
is?
The being able to like move your body in a way that gets past the other people. I mean, in sports at
are you
least.
talking about like Red Rover?
Well, football and basketball, it matters. Being able to coordinate like all the limbs of your body while moving quickly. I've got some quickness. You know, if I was a football player, I would be, you know, Wes Welker. Those little choppy steps, you get around people. You're bad at basketball. See, basketball is sneaky. If I had to choose one sport, which I would say is the best test of athleticism, I would say it's basketball.
Pickleball is always played with 4 people, or do you ever have just one-on-one pickleball?
I think they play one-on-one. Like
If we played pickleball,
generally it's 2-on-2.
If we played pickleball one-on-one, do you think? Or if let's say it's 2-on-2.
Why wouldn't I kill you at every racket sport? That's why I'd kill you at baseball too. They called me pepper spray on my
What do you mean you
softball
would
team,
kill me at
'cause I'm-
baseball?
Because
If I was pitching against you, you would hit it, or do you mean
I
that
just
if we
mean
were both?
like if we're both in a league, I'm going to have a much higher batting average, and they're going to want me more in the field than you.
That's not true. It's not. I think baseball.
I love
is the
this
one
question
thing
because
debating.
it's putting Anthony on his back foot
No
for
back foot.
once.
I know. I've got too much athletic skill to ever go on my back foot. I'm always on my toes. That comes from Pilates.
I mean, you're in pretty good shape right now. I'll give you that.
Man, I work out 6 days a week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
And that 7th day, I'm usually hiking. I'm too tired to go to the gym after I hike.
I play tennis and I run, but that's about it. And right now, because of this, internal strife I've been going on, I haven't done anything in like 4 days, and I just feel like I'm dying.
You said about the Queen.
I was pleasantly surprised, I being Carlos, our next emailer, to find that Anthony was a big fan of Fred Rogers. So my question is if Fred Rogers was alive and well today, and ask Anthony Jeselnik to do collaborative projects, like Anthony making an appearance on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, or Fred Rogers appearing on Good Talk. How would he handle these situations?
No one calls him Fred Rogers. No one. It's Mr. Rogers. I love Mr. Rogers. He's a Pittsburgh dude. As a kid, I worshiped Mr. Rogers. I would do, if he was still alive and was like, be on my show, I would do whatever he wanted. I would read the lines however he wanted. I would act however he wanted. I would just be like, I'm in your world. Just do that. And there are comedians who are on Sesame Street sometimes who come on and play with it. I would be totally game. I wouldn't try to make fun of it. I would be sincere and do what they wanted me there for. I love Sesame Street. Love Mr. Rogers.
Oh, you would do Sesame Street too?
Oh yeah, the Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers were the 2 shows. Electric Company a little bit, but come on. But yeah, I would be totally sincere and do what they needed me there for. And I assume if you get me to do something, it's like maybe let's explain dark humor to children or something like that. That I'm like, what do you need me to do? I'm going to do a good job. I'm not going to try to be subversive on Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was the shit. Bad movie. What was the movie, Aaron?
It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Was that the one? There was a documentary, and then there was the one with Tom Hanks.
The documentary is great.
Documentary is great, although the documentary, I was like, tell me more about your kids. When they would show the kids, his kids growing up, who had like just crazy beards and were like, yeah, Mr. Rogers was their dad. It was like, tell me more about your life.
Wasn't quite that dramatic. But yeah, I understood why that didn't fit with the tone of it. That was once on Recommendation Station, I believe, back in the day. It's one of the movies I've cried the hardest at on a plane, embarrassing myself in front of other people.
Everybody cries on airplanes. 9/11.
What if Mr. Rogers asked you to do an episode like next week, remembering the Queen, and like trying to put into context for the American kids like what the loss of the Queen meant?
I'd be like, am I the Queen? Do I get to dress up like the Queen? I'm in. I would do anything he said. There's some people that no matter what, like that I grew up watching, that if they asked me to do something and were like, hey, we need you to like do some crazy thing you would never do, I am doing it. I'm committing 100%.
Freddie Stenellis, one of those?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I had a feeling. All right, our last question's from Bobby. He has a simple one. He always wondered that you're a writer, but do you practice your delivery out loud in the mirror? If so, how much do you practice saying the joke out loud before you're ready?
Never. Not once. I write it. I try to make it as good as I can in the writing of it, and then I'll read it over before I go on stage. I'll usually change a couple words here or there. And then when it comes out of my mouth on stage, that's the first time I ever say it out loud. I have never once looked in the mirror and rehearsed anything. It would be, I don't know if he's like being, I don't know what the word, like if he really means literally looking in the mirror or just like practicing it out loud.
I think he means it.
No.
Or practicing out loud. I thought that was a fair question. You
Sure,
seem
of
to
course.
think it was crazy that comedians do not do this.
Crazy that I would never do it.
Do any comedians do?
I can't imagine. Because it's just like you want to make it sound natural. There's nothing natural about looking in the mirror, looking yourself in the eyes while you rehearse something. Although when I've like done monologue for the Jeselnik offensive and I had to read these monologue jokes, I would rehearse those never in a mirror, but I would say them out loud over and over again to kind of get the timing down, like the breath, because it's not, I don't say them the way I would say my jokes on stage. And when I auditioned for Saturday Night Live, for a Weekend Update, I had my jokes, and for like weeks, I went on hikes and would like rehearse the jokes while I was hiking. Like you're out of breath, it's like it's hard to get it out, but I would say that over and over again, so I had it down. But my own act, I say it out loud on stage for the first time, and sometimes I'm like, oh, this is a bad joke when it's halfway out of my mouth, but I would never say it out loud before that. You need to have an audience in front of you or something kind of going on, but I've never once done anything in the mirror. If that worked, there was a kid who came to me at the Comedy Cellar years and years ago and was like, Anthony, I want to be a comedian. I'm good. I swear to God, I'm good. And I'm like, oh, where have you gotten up? He's like, nowhere yet, but I did like half an hour in the mirror yesterday with my hairbrush. And I was like, get the fuck away from me. That's not a thing.
Oh man, it kind of reminds me of, I once had to kind of audition to see if I could do like on-air stuff for NBC Fantasy back at Roto World. But to do it, they had me come in on a Saturday and do it like on their actual NBC Sports set, like while everyone was taking a break from the Kentucky Derby, but the whole production crew was there and everyone was there, and they were just like gonna slide me in and use the crew for me to like pop in there and do like a minute. And it was the first time I had ever done anything on camera, and I really wanted to like do well and make that like my thing and do fantasy. And I held like at that time a camera, it was like an actual camera, digital camera, and like did that for like 2 weeks on end, saying the exact same minute over and over about Carson Palmer's reconstructed knee. I still like remember part of the fucking sentences I said. And I don't think that was a good idea. It was probably so stilted by the very end. Like I shudder to think about how bad that minute was, but I just had the minute completely memorized. And yeah, like made me feel better in that day that I just like got through it very easily after practicing it so much, but I'm sure it fucking sucked.
You don't want to over rehearse. It's bad.
It was.
Bad. And that was, is that it?
That's it.
And that was Email Corner. Shine like the queen in hell.
What the fuck? I gotta take that one out of the mix. So I never liked it.
Yeah, what was that? There wasn't a song to play at the end of that?
It was just like a little.
That was terrible.
Sting.
That sounds like someone breaking into your car and you're gonna let them just to make.
I just deleted it. It's off. It's off the track.
And now it's time for Ad Coffee.
Zip Recruiter does the work for you. Okay, so hiring is challenging.
Fuck yeah.
So much on your plate. We've got a lot going on. We're selling merch. You're selling tour dates.
We got the Tournament Champions.
Got different shows. My season just started. And sometimes you need a little help, like figuring out Email Corner. Who knows? You're looking for hiring. It's hard to find the time. You need a place like ZipRecruiter that makes hiring simple, fast, and smart, a place where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. And that place is ZipRecruiter.com/JRVP. Don't forget the .com/JRVP.
Make it your homepage.
They do the work for you. We really, we've used ZipRecruiter to get help with our merch, to get help in all facets of our lives. ZipRecruiter is fantastic because its powerful technology finds and matches the right candidates up with your job. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. It was my least favorite thing to do as a boss back in the day when I was a boss. And I think it was the hardest thing to do was hire.
You don't want to hire. You want to zip it and chip it.
That's not the tagline, but I like it. Right now, try ZipRecruiter for free. You can go to ZipRecruiter.com/JRVP. That's ZipRecruiter.com/JRVP. ZipRecruiter.com/JRVP. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Zip it and snip it.
Policy Genius is an important...
This is a banger.
Right. It's an important sponsor because every time we have it... Why are you laughing at that? I mean it. Because every time we have it, I'm like, I still don't have life insurance. And as I was saying earlier in the show, mortality, it's just like a creeping thing. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I'm my parents' age. That all I'm thinking about is that I'm going to die sometime.
You don't have life insurance?
I don't.
So if you die, you think your wife and kids are just going to eat their own happiness?
We need to get it, and that's why I need Policy Genius.
Get it for your wife.
Right, to get it for my family, get covered, the people that you love. Most people need up to 10 times more coverage to properly provide for their families than the coverage that they have. Coverage through work, and I think I have a little bit, but it's not portable. If you leave your job, the policy doesn't go with you, and a lot of times it doesn't really cover you in all the ways that you need. Policy Genius helps you out. They're a marketplace for insurance that helps make it easy to compare quotes from top companies like AIG and Prudential, and you find the lowest price on life insurance. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. Options start at just $17 per month for $500,000 worth of coverage. You just click the link in the description, you head to policygenius.com, you get personalized quotes in minutes and find the right policy for your needs. The licensed agents there work for you, not for the insurance companies. I'm going to use it. This is it. Like, there are some of our sponsors that I just get inspired and I use them. This is happening this week. It's time. I'm an adult. You're saying be an adult. I'm going to Policy Genius. I'm getting this life insurance. I'll tell you about it next time.
You know what inspired me to get a life insurance?
What?
The Queen. She didn't have it. I'm just reading an article right now that she fucked over everybody.
Couple other little things. Policy Genius doesn't sell your details to third parties. That's nice. No extra fees. Lots of 5-star reviews. They've helped over 30 million people shop, placed over $150 billion in coverage. Head to policygenius.com to get your free life insurance quotes. See how much you could save. Finally, in this ad copy, we got Roman swipes.
Swipe left, swipe right, swipe Roman.
Ooh. Swipe it on. I think this is
swipe
more
around.
This is more like a round. Yeah, swipe it forward, swipe it back, swipe it around. So what Roman swipes are, they're convenient over-the-counter wipes, clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. They are uniquely formulated to reduce overstimulation without eliminating sensation altogether. You get a little too excited? Get some Roman swipes. In a 2019 study, they were proven to increase time with your loved ones by more than 4 times. They actually say they increase time to orgasm by more than 4 times. They just spell it out.
So if I use these, I could have sex for like 7 minutes?
You remove the disposable swipe from its discreet pocket-sized pack. You wipe it on.
It's discreet too. So when you're about to have sex and you open it up to wipe your junk, you don't want people to be like, "What's that? What's that packet?" It's discreet. Don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah, and you gotta let it dry a little bit. They're safe, effective. Importantly, no prescription needed. So we usually talk about talking with your doctor with Roman, but with swipes you don't need that.
They'll give this to anybody.
All swipes include free 2-day shipping, arrived in unmarked packaging. You can try for them $2.75 per swipe. Try swipes today with a special offer just for our listeners. You get 20% off your first order. Go to getroman.com/JRVP today. That's getroman.com/JRVP for 20% off.
Swipe right, swipe left, swipe Roman. Aaron, what's your favorite part about using Roman swipes?
That they work really good.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron's got a baby, so you know he fucks. And that was. And that was. Ad copy. Let's get to headlines.
Struggling.
That sounds like a...
Play it again.
That's like the broke ass Succession theme.
Yeah.
Like if Showtime put out their own form of Succession, it would be that song.
There kind of is a
Billions?
a broke. No, not that one. There's another one on HBO now. The Industry one. Have you
Oh
seen
yeah,
it?
I've seen ads. I haven't watched it.
For some reason, that reminds me. Let's do some headlines. There's just nothing Anthony loves more than a story involving children and sex and clothing. Amazon has recently pulled sales of sexually explicit children's wear from its Canadian site after a number of complaints. The kids' clothing said, "I love cock," but instead of the... Well, it didn't have the letters OC in the middle. That's me. But instead of OC, it had a heart emoji replacing the OC. So it had C, heart, K in the word. There was another version also that had C, rooster, K. So it didn't exactly say I love cock, but it basically said I love cock.
That should have been our merch. I didn't look at this. I didn't read the article. I saw the headline and was like, put it first. But it said...
I would show it to you, but they blurred it all out in the articles because I guess it would be offensive or something, so it doesn't really pay off.
Why would it be offensive?
Well, you know, because it has like young children wearing them. It's not exactly toddlers mostly. That's what I imagine. It's more like 7 to 13-year-olds, which is maybe worse. I don't know.
It sounds like, you know, when you see like in like China or Thailand or something where they have like shirts where they don't speak English. It's like it's just something ridiculous, and you see someone like a grandma wearing it with total confidence, and it's funny. It sounds like that. Is this a Canadian company, or was it just a company that was just like, we're going to sell these 2 shirts to kids, and people got mad?
It was more than just shirts. They had like a Christmas dress for girls that it was marketed as funny. Like, buy this funny dress for your daughter for Christmas. So,
and it said "I heart cock."
Yeah, all over it too. It wasn't just like one time. That's what really made me laugh was the girl's Christmas dress, which was like had some Christmassy stuff on it, had "I love cock" written on it. I would say 40 times, like all over the dress.
All right, Greg, you are a clothing designer. I'm the head of the company. I'm coming in to check on your work. You're pitching this to me as our girl's Christmas dress.
Okay, so we're working on some really new holiday gear this year. This is like a little fun, a little different.
Good idea.
Just a little left to center. We're gonna have some dresses for girls, some shirts for girls that say like "I love cock" on it, but with like a rooster image where the letters OC would be, just like "I love cock."
I like it. Are we doing enough? How many times does it say "I love cock" on the girl's dress?
Well, we were just thinking once or twice.
No. Listen, you're a design guy. You know what you're doing. I'm gonna have to say 100 times.
100 times. Okay. I don't know if we can fit all that, but maybe if we turn down the Christmas of it all. There was a lot of women, breaking character here, upset about this.
Women were upset?
Yeah, moms were upset because
they don't love cock?
Well, they saw girls that were maybe like 7 or 8 years old, and they were just like confused, like, who's buying this exactly? Who's this for?
It sounds like a fun gift to give, like a Secret Santa would be funny as hell.
Yeah, but they're in kids' sizes, so that's the part that really is.
Well, you give it to someone who has kids. It's fun. I mean, I would if I had kids. If I had kids, I would dress my kids in this shit 24/7. I wouldn't wait for Christmas. It would be funny. The kids don't know. It would be hilarious. I think so. What, they took it down from the Amazon site, and could you buy it in America, or was it just in Canada and now it's gone?
It was just on the Canadian site, and it appears that it's gone. They said it was, quote, normalizing the sexual commodification of children.
If someone's got a shirt that says "I heart" like a rooster, that's not real sexual. That's not like, ooh, that's titillating. It's like a cheesy joke. It's like,
but it doesn't say "I heart rooster." It says "I heart C rooster K," which is like, it's just like "I love cock."
Rooster.
It took me, I think, 6 months, maybe 9 months of living in the East Village in New York to realize that the bar on the corner with a lit up sign just of a rooster was a gay bar. So that's where I was at that point in my life. I don't know. I just didn't really notice it. It was just like, oh, that was the Cock.
It was called the Cock?
It was called the Cock. I mean, it didn't actually like have a name anywhere on it, but I think it was a classic East Village gay bar for a while. But that went over my head. So I guess you got to spell it out more, like literally spell it out more.
I wonder, what do you think our listeners would buy faster if we made our own line of children's clothing that said "I Heart Cock"? Or
I like the line of children's clothing. I don't like the "I Love Cock."
What about a line of children's body paint?
I like that. I like the baby gear. I was into that. I mean,
honestly, I think
the stuff where you dress up as a baby. I think that's cool.
That would be cool. It's very cool. I think they went too old. If it had been like toddler stuff, that said "I Heart Cock," people would be like, yeah, fine, that's great. But I think like 7 to 13, they're like, it's a little.
No, one of them, it's like, it's terrible. It's
whoever has this, whoever bought it, whatever like hipster a lover of irony who bought this. Like if I didn't have kids and I saw this, I don't have kids, and I saw it, I would buy it in the hopes that one day I could dress up my daughter like that and send her to the Queen's funeral. Speaking of athletics, who do you think is the better dancer?
Well, I'm not going to claim to be a good dancer.
I'm the worst dancer of all time.
Okay. I actually can't really even remember you dancing. It's been so long. It definitely was early 20s since probably either of us really danced too much in front of each other. We're both bad. So.
Yeah, I remember freshman year we would just dance in front of each other for hours. We were killing it.
My problem is I think I'm a good, I don't think I'm a good dancer, but I think it's like, well, at least I'm on the beat, like I can feel the beat here. But then I've seen myself, in a video thinking like, okay, at least I'm on and it's fucking it's horrifying.
I've never
terrible.
been.
It's like in slow motion or something. I don't know what's wrong with
I've
me.
never been on beat in my life.
Okay, then maybe I have a beat there. I think I got that. My favorite headline of the week comes from the Today Show and its website, and it reads, quote, "My abusive stepfather made the best salsa. Why I've reclaimed the recipe as my own." It's terrible. I felt worse the longer I read this article because I could not stop laughing.
I did not read the article, but I just love the idea of someone saying this dead seriously. My abusive stepfather made the best salsa.
They did a 9-minute segment on it. I thought about watching it. I was just like, this is too much because I'm just going to be laughing at this woman. She came on and talked about it. I think what their website is they literally just transcribe what their features are. And this was it. This was all about her abusive stepfather. She didn't want to give up that salsa. That fucking salsa must have been awesome.
It must have been the best salsa ever. My stepfather used to beat me, but you can't beat this salsa. Have you had that stuff out of a can? No, you got to have the salsa. And why you'd be like, oh, I have the best salsa recipe. Why do you have to bring in your trauma dump of your stepdad? Tell me, give me details.
Well, I think the idea is she's trying to say to other trauma victims that, hey, if there's a part of your life that's associated with trauma, bring it back, and it doesn't hurt if it's tasty with a chip,
Well, I mean, did he make the salsa before he beat her? Was he try some of this and then slap?
Okay, so
and let me take a guess about the salsa. It's got mango in it. What makes it so good? That you gotta.
Okay, I'll skip ahead to one of my favorite lines of the. We'll give you more of the background of everything, but since you're asking about the flavors, well, one of my favorite lines of the article was, "Being a food writer and all-around food lover, I couldn't resist making the salsa for myself, and lo and behold, it was every bit as amazing as I remembered. The zesty flavor combo of fresh." I can't see. The zesty flavor combo of It's really not that funny. A fresh tomato, cilantro, and onion, and minced pico de gallo-like texture remained as irresistible as they were in my adolescence. I don't know. It's so funny to me because I'm just like picturing like the doom and gloom. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Of like, you know, the sad trauma she was going through. It really shouldn't. But just this being in that article is too much.
I mean, it's amazing. And that's just normal salsa. That's anything has that in it. Any old fucking salsa. You could throw salsa ingredients down the stairs and end up with what you just described. Like, oh, you know when you finally get the dirty sock out of your mouth that's been stuck in there all day because you made too much noise watching TV? Well, get that taste out of your mouth with this shit.
I feel bad. I don't usually feel bad at all about these, but I feel bad. I mean, the reason that made me laugh so hard is because that paragraph came as like such a hard pivot to the paragraph before, which reads, from the ages of 13 to 22, I was stalked and harassed by an anonymous predator. This person hacked my email, sent me explicit packages, and even broke into my apartment to steal my lingerie and diaries. My now former stepfather has been in prison for these and other crimes for 14 years. He also bankrupted my mom, stole hundreds of thousands from his financial planning clients, and possessed child pornography.
Hey, if you can't handle your stepfather at his worst, you don't deserve that salsa. Here's why this is funny. You've got abuse, a stepfather abusing his child, which is horrible, and then you've got salsa.
Right, exactly.
Which is on the other end of the spectrum. The word salsa is funny, and you're just picturing, like, how fucking important are chips to you? That this is like, that you got to write this essay. Are you trying to get into college right now?
I gotta say, though, like, I love fucking salsa.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people love salsa. I feel like I'm still waiting to get into a bigger salsa phase where I just am trying lots of salsa. Like, there is nothing better than good salsa. And if you find, like, a Mexican, you get chips and dip it in salsa at every Mexican restaurant. The ones with like salsa that you just love, like I'm coming back there all the time. So I get it. I just feel like you can find, there's lots of salsas out there.
Let me blow your mind. Have you ever had cowboy caviar?
No.
It's like this new thing. It's like a trend. It's kind of like a salsa, but you chop up like fresh vegetables, put some beans in there and stuff, fresh fruit and vegetables, and it's like you get this big. It's basically salsa, but when I was a kid, my mom used to beat the shit out of me, and just kick me down the stairs, and then lock me in a closet for hours on end, and with the cats, and then when she would let me out, there would be a little bit of this cowboy caviar left in a bowl in the fridge, and I would it was so good, I would eat it with my fingers. I didn't even need chips.
And how do you find the experience of eating that salsa now?
I reclaimed it. You know, sometimes I'll make it myself and then Fight Club myself a little bit.
See, now we're getting mean. She said the more that she makes the salsa, the less it bears her abuser's imprint. And it's become a gift she can share with others, a culinary blessing. You know, and as powerful as food can be for bringing up hurtful memories, it also has the power to heal.
It sounds like you just want to talk about your abuse and you're working it into salsa. If you were like, hey, my stepfather who abused me was a cook, and now I'm using cooking, I'm getting into the joys of cooking, and I'm using that to get over the trauma of my stepfather. Okay, I'll read your essay without snickering like a little girl for 20 minutes. But salsa, fuck out of here.
And going on the Today Show about it. I mean, I think what I would do is like, let's make a little spin on it. You don't have to use old Jerry's exact recipe, and then move on from it. Like, is she like, I wondered, because she was bringing this to Today Show. Do you think there's any like instinct to start, you know, selling this, like, you know, fucktard Rick's tasty salsa?
Oh, fucktard Rick's tasty salsa. That's got to be the title of the episode, for sure.
She said she wants to pass it down to her children. She wants. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Pass down the trauma to your children, one chip at a time.
Why was that so loud? I don't know.
That was loud. That was abusive. I need some sauce.
I don't know why you know, okay, I'm gonna adjust that one for the future.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that back.
All right, we gotta get some new ones. I'll get rid of that one. All right, despite what Anthony thinks, there's nothing worse in life than a funeral for a toddler. Unless it's a funeral for a toddler where the toddler wakes up at her own funeral, which is exactly what happened in Mexico last week.
Okay, before we get into this, I think I've read the story.
Right.
Toddler wakes up.
Yeah.
Toddler's not awake for long, right?
No, I guess that's why it's especially worse. The toddler wakes up, is alive, but apparently brain dead and died, a day later. So that's bad, but
I'm laughing at Greg would introduce the story.
I should have mentioned that.
Bring in the brain dead. Not just like I'd read that the toddler woke up and then immediately died again. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't dead.
Yeah.
But came to. But you're bringing in it was brain dead.
Yeah, they brought it in, and her heart was beating like at a normal
So
rate.
it didn't just wake up was like hey and then went
It
back to
didn't
dead.
wake up. I don't think it was ever dead. I think they thought this baby was not gonna. This is my guess. I'm not trying to shit on
You're an expert. Come on.
doctors here in Mexico, but it seems like they prematurely put her in the grave.
Sounds like.
I mean, clearly, because there was maybe like no hope of a real recovery. I don't know. That part is confusing to me. But the mom said that like when they took her away, she was still hugging me. And the doctors were just like, you have to let her rest in peace. And then just like took her away and then said that she was dead. And the next time she saw her was in a glass casket at the funeral. And she saw the condensation of the breath, which is why I always say if your toddler dies, get a glass casket.
That's smart. I was going to say closed casket. That way, if it wakes up, it doesn't spoil the funeral. You can.
But you didn't know that it was gonna die again quickly.
They don't embalm toddlers, or is it like don't they embalm anyone if they bury them, or were they
You
going
gotta pay
to
for that. It costs a lot extra. And I read, that book that we both read about the funeral industry made me think, don't embalm, right? Or maybe that's something else. Like you don't really need to do it.
It depends on how you're getting.
Yeah, it depends what the
buried.
funeral is gonna be.
I'm not getting embalmed in my will. I get like thrown in the ground. I get buried. I'm gonna be a tree.
I mean, it's kind of sad though. They were the doctors.
Well, how so?
The doctors were just saying like, she had no hope, and even like when they brought her to the hospital after noticing the breath, they were just kind of like, like they didn't seem to.
They still jumped the gun, even though they maybe wasn't gonna like have it wasn't gonna get up and talk to you, but you don't put it in the ground until.
They said it was at good 97 beats per minute, which seems like a lot, and that the eyes were moving. That the mother of the girls noticed that the eyes were moving in the casket. That's some freaky shit.
Yeah, I feel like people always think like, oh, that they moved. Oh, I think they're still alive, and then they go and touch them and like, oh, they're cold. This seems like a lot of people dropped the ball. I feel like the doctors dropped the ball. I feel like the nurse dropped the ball. Whoever put that baby in the coffin wasn't paying attention. It seems like a weird thing. Like, have you ever heard that when
They're
people
they're suing the doctors.
Good. When people are digging graves, when you put the grave and people think that like the body's moving, it's like when the dirt settles. People will dig up graves they've dug because they think like, oh, they're still alive, and it's like, no, it's just what's going. So your mind plays tricks on you in the letting go process. That's what was going to happen with the Queen. I guarantee it. What if the Queen gets up? What if they're like, oh shit, there's condensation on this. She's brain dead, but let's bury her anyway. What do you think? You got nothing to say to that?
I don't. I was I was trying to think of how to work in I don't know, just maybe have a little bit of a famous salsa and just feel better about everything.
And then look at did you see the picture of the kid in the coffin?
I don't think there was a picture.
You can
was
see
there? Oh, I didn't
you
see
can
it.
see through the glass coffin. They're wearing a dress that says "I heart cock." Brought it back around, and now it's time for
Bad coffee.
Freshly. Love Freshly. I'm looking forward to a little more Freshly as summer is winding down.
Tell me about the sale. You teased it up top. There's a sale. Is it end of summer sale?
It's an end of summer, start of fall. Freshly.com/JRVP for $125 off your first 5 orders. Now you're getting back into your normal fall routine. Mm-hmm. I'm back into my NFL season routine. I don't have as much time. That's where Freshly can come in. Freshly's got lunch and dinner covered fresh made meals delivered right to your door. It's a limited time for the end of summer savings. Like I said, $125 off your first 5 orders. You get to go on their website and you pick like whatever you're in the mood for. You have a certain vision of what the end of summer is going to be. You can choose the meals that you think that fits. You know what I love?
Let me pitch you something.
A little salsa.
Let me pitch you something.
Yeah.
Okay. You're watching football. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You're eating unhealthy foods while you're watching the game. You're eating chips and salsa. You're getting the barbecue. Get rid of that. Get some Freshly. Your friends are over watching the game. Bring out the Freshly meals. Throw it in the microwave for a minute. Bring it out. Everyone gets their own
3 minutes.
Their own delicious meal.
Still a
3
little
minutes.
cold
That's
after
right.
1, yeah.
3 minutes. It's delicious, and everyone feels healthy. You're still watching the game. You're getting good food. You don't have to cook anything. Freshly.
That's a good idea. It's healthy. They also have options for gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based, carb-smart, and calorie-conscious menus. Again, you can lock in these huge savings across your first 5 orders. Having one less thing on your plate never tasted so good. Take advantage of Freshly's end of summer sale. Score a special deal, $125 off your first 5 orders at freshly.com/JRVP when you order today. That's freshly.com/JRVP. Freshly.com/JRVP for $125 off your first 5 orders. We've been doing the Athletic Greens read for a long time. You know the drill. It's less than $3 per day. It's 1 scoop in a cup of water every day instead of a million different pills. It's supplements. We do it here. But for the first time in all these reads, Jeselnik's getting on board. And I'm just going to like sort of take a before picture in my mind right now to see what Anthony looks like. I close my eyes and everything and just see what a difference it's going to be in a couple weeks once you start banging this Athletic Greens.
Ask me why I got on the Athletic Greens train.
Why?
Okay, I'm going to be on the road. You know, nutrition's become important to me. Liz is big on nutrition. She's always talking about getting our greens. We're eating some nice meals. She's like, we got to get our greens. We get some salad that I don't really like. That this is like right when you wake up, you drink it, you get your greens. You get some vitamins, you get some minerals. You can kind of relax the rest of the day on what you eat. And there are some things I've done, like little morning cleanse things, where you drink it in the morning on an empty stomach, and then you can't eat for like hours, so it can like soak in. This, you drink it. 15 minutes later, you can have your coffee. 15 minutes later, you can eat a donut, but you get your greens. And when I go on the road, when I'm on tour, I hate waking up and like getting up in time for room service. I can just get my Athletic Greens, and then I know I'm taken care of on that side of my nutrition. It's important.
And it tastes sneaky good. It's like
I'm excited. I just got it today,
review.
And I'm going to try it tomorrow morning for the first time.
Okay. I mean, Anthony's stepping up big in ad copy this week and delivering it. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health. Arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. You know what's coming up.
What is it? Cold
and flu season. It's 1 scoop of cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/JRVP. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/JRVP to take ownership over your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
And that was
ad copy.
Good job, Aaron. I felt it. Nice. What are you doing, Craig?
I'm looking at this next headline and wondering what the hell is happening. A Brazilian woman pulled off something I didn't think was possible. She had sex with 2 different men in one day.
You didn't know that was possible?
No, that's possible. That's very doable. But she had twins 9 months later, also doable. But the twins have different fathers, Anthony. She split the babies.
You know what it sounds like that woman does?
What?
Sounds like she hearts cock. I'm thinking, like, was she dating a guy and cheated on him? So one baby is like her significant other's, and the other baby is like a stranger's baby, or was it just she was just wilding out and hooked up with 2 different guys? No kink shaming.
I mean, I don't know about wilding out.
2 guys in one day is wilding out.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's wilding out.
No protection on either one.
She knew exactly who they were. I don't know if she had completely different relationships with the 2 men, if one was more significant or what. But only one of them is in her life, and she just assumed it was one of them. So that would indicate that that was a more regular boyfriend or what have you. And they didn't figure it out until, months later. And she just sort of was like, this doesn't seem like, it just seems so different. And for the first time, she was just like thinking, I wonder if that's possible. And it is medically possible.
So why is this in the news again? Like, was this like a study? Like I think we talked about this a couple of days ago about someone who had some kind of embarrassing shit. Oh yeah, it was the monkeypox, COVID, and HIV thing that they had. It was a study done. This wasn't
a study. No, this was just like a story that popped up, I think, in the New York Post, and people were just excited about it. Probably because it was like an attractive Brazilian woman.
Was it a TikTok thing where she was like, "You weren't going to believe what I did"?
No, it popped up because it was in a local news like television station. They told a crazy story, and people were fascinated that it's possible. And doctors were like, "Yeah, it's totally possible. It's super rare." And they claim there's only they would guess, about 20 other instances of the world like it, like right now, living twins.
And what is her living situation now? She's got these 2 kids. Is she getting any help?
One guy is fathering both of them, and the other one is not wanting to get involved at all.
I mean, do you brag about that? Like, if you have a one-night stand, and then she has twins, one of them's yours, one of them's not, are you like, I'm a father? Or are you like, do you focus on the kid you got, or do you focus on the other kid that the other guy got? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess it depends on your relationship with the woman.
But it's your baby, kind of. Or you can be like, well, it's one of 2 babies. I don't get both babies. I don't want any of the babies. You know what I'm saying?
I would say if you are in a loving relationship with this woman, then you just step up and be a man and take care of both of the kids. Now, if you're the other guy and you're not really in a relationship with it, yeah, you should still step up and take care of the kid. But I'm speaking from the perspective of just like you're there and there's only one of them, and you treat them equally. What's the difference?
Treat the kids equally. Do you treat the woman like she's the mother of your child, or like she's the mother? She's boned some other guy the same day as you?
Well, that's a tough blow to recover from. That can't be good on the. But
she's a babe?
It's a tough reminder. She was attractive, yeah, certainly. If you can get past that, maybe you can't. But I think it's possible.
Maybe. It's all weird. I'll say it.
Really getting out on a limb. I didn't know this was possible. They said it could be up to a week separate. They're just like, I don't know. They got into the science of it all, and it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, basically the eggs could be fertilized different. That there could be up to a week period where if you had sex with a different man, that maybe it would grow in different placentas. This is the placentas right there.
I get it. You really nailed it. Are the kids both boys, both girls? What's one boy?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
I don't think it said.
I'm gonna rule on this right now, Greg. Aaron, are you listening?
Oh yeah.
Aaron, Greg, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's not weird. Martha Stewart.
I was shocked you chose this story, much less as a capper.
I didn't put that much thought into it.
For some reason, there are some ones that I like so much that I almost try to put in some filler ones that you won't choose. And this was one of the filler ones. It had been hanging around for a few weeks, and I was like, okay, I'll throw in that Martha Stewart one.
There were some that were like canceled themselves out that I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good one. So I just put this in there. I don't remember why.
So it's about lifestyle mogul Martha Stewart, who's now 80. That was news to me.
I didn't know that.
And has a problem in her dating life. And the problem is that the men she wants to date are married to her friends. And those friends just like keep on living. And she mentioned she had 2, quote, mad crushes in the last month, which is really good. But she admitted that like she has no problems meeting men, but that they're all married to friends of mine or something like that.
I mean, I assume all her friends are really rich. So she can't she can't buy their affection. Why did she say this? Like, what was she joking? Was she being cheeky when she said, and the headline was, Martha Stewart admits she wishes friends would die so she could date their husbands.
I listened
Martha
to
Stewart
the clip.
admits this.
Yes.
Means that they were pressing her on this.
No,
Like,
she
do
wasn't.
you want
It
your
was
friends to
I
die?
think it was Chelsea Handler's podcast. I should check that. But I think it was I think it was that podcast, and she was just like, I think Chelsea Handler threw out like a possibility of like, you know, what could happen. Oh, you must just like wish that they're gonna break up. And then Martha Stewart responded like, or maybe they'll die. I always think, oh gosh, couldn't that person just die? And like I was thinking, like, is she trying to be funny to a comedian? But it sounded like she was just like, look, if my friend died, that would be like a positive of it. I would step right in.
Okay, I think she was probably joking around a little bit. I think there's some truth in joking. I think that she made a joke, but would, and I feel like you're almost doing a service. If someone's 80 and their wife dies, and you're a woman and you're 82, and you slip in to be like, let me help you through your final years, let me help you mourn, that's okay. It's all right. When you get to be that age, whatever. But do you think, okay, you're 80 years old, all right? You've been married a long time. Your wife dies, all right? You need some companionship. Do you want another 80-year-old? Don't you think you would go younger than Martha Stewart? Unless her money, you've got way more money than you, wouldn't you try to go younger?
No.
No?
First of all, you know, I don't know personality-wise if she'd be a great fit. Seems like a lot. But, you know, a great-looking 80-year-old woman.
For sure.
She has
Smart.
a criminal record.
Yeah, that's true.
I like
tough.
bad girls. Yeah. No, I think because you're 80, you don't want any weird like expectations. I don't know. I think I would want someone that would be on my level. Now that you're going younger, that you just think that's what you're gonna do the rest of your life?
I think you want something way different. I think you're 80 years old. You're late in life, and you're like, hey, I've been with the same woman for a long, long time. She's dead.
Okay.
And you've got a whole buffet of different
Well,
women.
you make it sound like there's a ton of options. I would think it's the opposite. If anything, when you're 80, you're thinking like, I want someone my age because like they're not gonna fucking judge me for the fact that I wear, you know, diapers or whatever. I struggle. I've got to get up to pee 6 times at night or something.
Not when you got money. When you got money, it's like, okay, what can I get my hands on? What kind of pies
Fucking
can I stick my
gold-plated
fingers into?
diapers. I mean, what are you gonna do? What is money gonna do for
Let me
that
tell you something.
situation?
If I'm 80 and I'm suddenly a widow, whoever I'm with, once my partner dies, they're going to be wearing diapers. I don't know if they're going to need the diapers, but they're going to be wearing them. That's for goddamn sure.
I mean, 80's not that old. I realize now. My dad is 80.
80's not that old.
You don't even want me to pick him up from the airport. You're just like, nope.
Get him a car. I'm not saying let him find his own way back. I'm not saying download an app for him. I'm saying hire a car to pick him up.
Okay. They play. You know, he plays tennis like
80's old.
3 or 4. It is old, but he plays tennis like 4 times a week and works out, and they're flying down. I'm just saying it. I'm making it sound like it has to be some crazy old thing. I don't think Martha Stewart is feeling that old. She's looking at her friends' husbands and wants to bone.
I think she could probably bone even before if they don't die. Wait till they fall asleep.
So, as part of this article, there were some other details about her love life that were news to me. Did you know she at one point was dating Anthony Hopkins?
I did not know
She
that.
told Ellen DeGeneres in January she had to break things off with him. I don't know if this was later in life or when it was, because she just couldn't stop thinking about him portraying Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
I would think that would be a turn on.
For you.
Eat these fava beans, motherfucker.
She also
Aaron.
said that once. Go ahead.
Aaron,
Yeah.
Martha Stewart, hot or not?
What is this?
Not.
Ooh, whoa!
You know
Look
what,
at the standards on this guy. I think
you know,
she's hot.
You know what T-shirt she needs?
What T-shirt?
I love cock.
I
would
thought
put
you were
her-
going to say horses are the soldiers of pets, the JRVP shirt Anthony's wearing
She's
right
got
now.
that. She's got
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
She's got the sweatshirt. What else?
She also told Andy Cohen that Larry King, quote, got amorous with her on a date, but added that the talk show host was not her type romantically, if you get what I mean.
I don't.
I don't either.
You weren't that into him? You didn't think Larry King was attractive?
Well, the only thing I could...
Saying he got amorous with me on a date, where else do you get amorous with someone, if not on a date?
I would have to listen to the context, but it sounded to me like she was maybe saying she let Larry get lucky once, and
He wasn't good?
yeah,
I believe
a
it.
small dick.
Yeah. I think if you're Martha Stewart, you don't care about the money and the fame that Larry King brings to the table. He's got to be able to bone the right way. It's too bad he died before he got his hands on those swipes. He would have been swiping around. You know what I realized before we get into recommendation station? We have not picked a JRVP listener of the week. And I thought it might be Martha Stewart, but now I'm reading the story. I'm like, no. Do we give it to Aaron? You can have a vote on this. Do we give it to the company that made dresses for kids that said "I heart cock"? Do we give it to the? You know what? I'm canceling this right now. It is the stepfather, who is now dead. I assume dead. Who made that bomb ass salsa?
No, he's in jail.
Salsa stepdad in jail.
He's in jail.
Is the JRVP listener of the week. Lots of stepfathers abuse their kids. Most of them don't make bomb ass salsa that's so good you guys can go on the Today Show and tell everybody about it.
It's like fucktard Jerry's, $9.99 at your local Bones. All right.
Fucktard Jerry is the JRVP listener of the week, and now it's time for recommendation station. Greg.
I'm going to recommend a book called The Adversary by Emmanuel Carrere. Was really excited to read this. First book I've read by Emmanuel Carrere, who's a very well-known French writer who kind of blends nonfiction and fiction, memoir, whatever. This was nonfiction. He said it was inspired by In Cold Blood. You can absolutely see this. It's an In Cold Blood type of book where he has a relationship with one of France's most notorious murderers. It was a really famous murder case back in the 90s. This book actually came out in 2000, so it's an older book, but it's a terrible story about this husband who had basically been living a secret life and said he had a job that he didn't have and had been living a lie for 15, 20 years to his family and to all of his friends, and then he murdered his wife, their 2 small children, and his elderly parents, all in the span of 2 days, and then was caught and admitted to it. And
2 days is record time. He pulled a Mr. Ripley. Emmanuel what? I'm writing this.
Emmanuel Carrere.
Spell it.
Carrere. And he's written a lot of books that I'm interested in more of them, but this was more of kind of a true crime type of book. He sort of tries to just understand how the fuck this guy came to be who he was, and he has a relationship with the guy, and it's fascinating and really well written.
Yeah, you were talking about it last week. I definitely want to read that. My recommendation this week is also a book. It's called Rogues by Patrick Radden Keefe. Patrick Radden Keefe. He's a writer. What?
That's the guy who wrote the book I recommended last week, Say Nothing, about the Troubles, about the IRA, about the about the conflict between the Irish and the Queen.
You were looking at me like, huh? What?
I don't know. I was just surprised because it's the same guy.
I'm surprised too. I mean, I read this a little while ago. It came out like a month or two ago. I got it immediately. It's like, I think they're all previously published works from the New Yorker. He does these long form profiles where he's like, if I find a story I'm into or a person I'm into, I can take. The New Yorker lets him take as long as he wants to write the piece. And there was like a total banger. But they're all great. The one's about Al Chapo, but there's a banger about this kind of the Whitey Bulger of Amsterdam that I fucking loved. That should be an absolute movie today. But it was got great reviews and just amazing profiles by an amazing writer. The guy can write his ass off. Rogues, Rogues, by Patrick Radden Keefe, Keefe. Check it out. And that was Recommendation Station. Walker, get us the F.O.
Whoa, Nelly Furtado, that's a spicy meatball.